Certainly an interesting development here in this four-way quarterback competition.
Yes, and I know it's arm soreness, not 100% certain if it's specifically shoulder soreness, but it was significant enough for him to mention it.
0 team reps for Shedeur Sanders in training camp practice today. It's the first time this entire training camp that the 5th-round rookie out of Colorado has gotten 0 reps in team drills. It just came out, being reported by Daniel Ofusi on X, that Shedeur Sanders did not participate in team drills today due to arm soreness.
Shedeur on the way off to the field, and all he said to me was, "I'm good." Later, the Browns came out and said he was held out because of arm soreness, which is a little curious because the fact is Shedeur's got the fewest reps of any of the 4 quarterbacks over the whole course of the summer training camp. So this is something interesting, totally unexpected.
Yeah, Ashley, we're sitting there watching, like I was saying, and Joe Flacco's taking a ton of reps. He's taking second-team reps. We almost never see him take reps leading the second team. Dylan Gabriel is taking a bunch of first-team reps. It was a little surreal.
So what's the extent of the arm soreness? We probably won't find out until Monday when the coaches are back at the podium and they get questioned about this, but that is what's being reported right now. Shedeur Sanders, 0 team reps today.
But Shedeur Sanders did not take a single rep today in 4 team periods and also the hungry dog period, an opportunity period for little-used players at the end of the day.
A bizarre incident occurred at Browns training camp. Nobody is giving straightforward answers. Shadur Sanders, the most anticipated rookie quarterback on the roster, did not take a single snap. Not a single snap, not a single throw. I just stood on the sidelines all day. There is no official injury report. There is no public explanation. Shadur responded with a cryptic, "I'm good," and remained silent. Meanwhile, Dylan Gabriel, who some fans are already skeptical about, received all of the added attention. So what did he do with them? That's an entirely different story. Something is certainly happening behind the scenes. But is it strategy or something more serious? We've got exclusive information, training camp film, and a detailed discussion of what's going on in the Browns quarterback room and why this could be bigger than anyone imagined. Day 9 of Browns training camp was meant to be business as usual, but it turned heads in the worst ways. Shedeur Sanders was conspicuously absent from the quarterback's team workouts. Not on the injured list, not in uniform. Most crucial, do not perform a single repetition. That is a huge red signal for a player who is anticipated to fight for the QB2 position. It wasn't just one area of practice either. Shedeur sat out every team period, including the hungry dog session, which is supposed to offer underutilized players extra opportunities. Reporters on the ground were taken off guard. Tony G, who frequently follows the Browns, stated only 2 of the team's 4 quarterbacks practiced that day, and Sanders was not one of them. The fact that everything transpired so quietly only added to the confusion. There was no notification, no evident evidence of injury, and no media coverage until after practice had concluded. When asked about it, Sanders said only 2 words, "I'm good." So why would the Browns bench their most promising young quarterback with no notice and no good reason? That's when things began to go odd. Following practice, Browns reporter Tony G made a beeline for Shedeur, seeking to glean some clarity. There were no cameras rolling, no microphones in his face, just a fleeting exchange as Shedeur moved off the field. Tony inquired about his well-being. Shedeur did not hesitate. He gave him a dead stare and responded, "I'm good." That was it. There is no frustration, no limp, no sling, just calm confidence and a silent exit. Later, the Browns released a brief statement claiming Shedeur was pulled out due to arm soreness, but this only prompted additional inquiries. How can a quarterback with the fewest reps of any signal caller in camp immediately require rest, especially one noted for grinding through pain? Even Tony G couldn't conceal his bewilderment. He pointed out that Shedeur hadn't thrown much this summer. If anyone needed more work, it was him. The explanation did not add up, and people began to worry if the team was telling the full story, although arm soreness may be the official line. However, that does not explain why the most dynamic rookie quarterback on the roster abruptly left practice. Let's be honest, Shedeur Sanders has never been the kind to sit out until something is severely wrong. This is the same quarterback that played with a shattered back at Colorado last year. Sprained ankle didn't deter him. Broken ribs? He's still dressed up. Suddenly, he's missing a whole day of reps in a quarterback competition, and all we get is arm soreness. Fans who have followed Shedeur from Jackson State to Colorado know the truth. He's a fighter, he has played hurt, he has taken hits, he has never backed down from a challenge. This is why the situation feels off. Some believe the Browns are protecting him, not because he's injured, but because they know what they have. Perhaps they've seen enough in camp to believe he's the real deal. Perhaps there's internal politics at play. Shedeur isn't the typical rookie. He brings media attention, expectations, and pressure, which doesn't always go well in a crowded quarterback room. Whatever the case, the arm soreness narrative isn't convincing anyone. There is more to it, and as Shedeur remained silent, another quarterback was given the spotlight and horribly bungled the opportunity. Dylan Gabriel had the perfect setting as Shedeur watched from the sidelines. Lots of reps. The pressure is minimal, a perfect opportunity to demonstrate to the Browns why he deserves a roster place. Instead, he crumbled. Gabriel had several opportunities to demonstrate his arm strength, decision-making, and other skills throughout the day. However, what supporters witnessed was anything but promising. Overthrows, missed readings, a close decision, and a terrible fumble left coaches clearly angry. Despite Joe Flacco's limited reps, Gabriel did not step up, he stepped back. There were times when the timing was incorrect, the accuracy was wobbly, and the command just wasn't present. And the most telling part, no rush. There was no sense that he was trying to seize the situation. It was as if he didn't comprehend how uncommon this opportunity was, or how quickly it could disappear. Meanwhile, everyone watching wondered what Shedeur would have done with those reps. Because while Gabriel faltered through his big audition, the quarterback who's built for the spotlight was left holding a towel on the sideline, completely unaffected. So why would the Browns sit Shedeur when reps are so important? Some fans believe the team is playing chess, not checkers. Look at the pattern. Shedeur has received the fewest reps of any of the four quarterbacks since his debut. Not because he is underperforming, but because he may already be in the long-term plans. Think about it. Why risk a young, dynamic quarterback in early camp when he has already demonstrated great poise, footwork, and deep ball accuracy? Why subject him to unneeded contact when veterans like Joe Flacco can absorb the knocks and rookies like Gabriel can take up the filler reps? This might be all about planning, slowing down Shedeur's rise to keep the pressure off while preparing him behind the scenes. Allow the media to focus on Gabriel's troubles and Flacco's leadership, as Shedeur quietly sharpens his skills and develops rapport with the second squad. And don't forget, this isn't just any rookie. He's Shedeur Sanders' son, spotlight tested, mentally stronger than most. With all eyes on the Browns' QB competition, protecting Shedeur may be less about soreness and more about long-term commitment. Joe Flacco appears to be the safe pick right now. With his experience and steady hand, no one is doubting his resume. He's been there and done that. What about behind him? Things get murky. With Shedeur plainly more gifted than Dylan Gabriel and Kenny Pickett, it's fair to wonder why the depth chart hasn't shifted already. Gabriel had his moment, and it was not pretty. Pickett, while significantly more experienced, hasn't exactly impressed anyone either. Meanwhile, even in limited reps, Shedeur has shown flashes of what the Browns have lacked. Modern pocket presence, fast readings, and explosive off-platform throws. If the Browns are preparing for the future, wouldn't it make sense to prioritise the player with the biggest ceiling? Put him behind Flacco for a couple weeks, certainly. But what about the third string? Fourth string? That just does not add up. Unless, of course, it's all a smokescreen. Perhaps the Browns are purposefully delaying Shedeur's big breakout, keeping it for pre-season when the lights are brighter, the stakes are higher, and the world is watching. When all is said and done, Shadur Sanders may be involved in more than just the QB contest. He might already be winning it, but quietly. From the outside, it appears to be just another day of camp. A young quarterback sitting out, another struggling, and the veteran getting by. But if you've been paying attention, you realise this isn't simply camp noise. This feels like a subtle transfer in power. Shedeur Sanders isn't just another rookie hoping to make the squad. He's a national storyline just waiting to burst. The Browns are aware of this, as are the fans, and the media is only now catching on. So the question isn't if Shedeur will rise, but when they will let him. And here's what makes it even more intriguing. The quiet. The team isn't hyping him. Shedeur is not talking. There are no viral practice vids. There are no interviews, just quiet, which in today's NFL media circus speaks volumes. It's as if they're attempting to maintain a lid on something about to blow wide open. So whether you're on Team Flacco, still holding out hope for Gabriel, or completely sold on Shedeur, one thing is certain. This quarterback room will not be quiet for long. Something is going on in Cleveland, despite the tales of pain and missed reps. When it reaches the field, it has the potential to drastically alter everything.